Live. Okay. Whew. I don't know how well this is gonna work. We're gonna give it a try. I don't even think I got my hair done, did I? No, I don't think I did. I mean, I did my hair, but I didn't do anything with it. It's as good as it's gonna get because I can't see. So, all right. But that's right. I'm a I'm a Boy Scout, man. All right. Well, it ain't the bill, so it'll be back on eventually. But I don't know how this is gonna work. I haven't used this very often, so let's go widescreen here. That was a mistake. There we go. Okay. Gotta find my captions. Okay, they're there. So I'm not gonna be able to read that, by the way. Um, yeah, I can't see that. I guess I'd go to chat. Hey Ingrid, good to see you. So I'm on my phone. Our power it went out, so mighty inconvenient, but hey, if you want to do something, you're gonna find a way to do it, right? So still gotta do my daily reflection and go live, and I was able to let people know and share the group, so it still worked out. Still worked out. Wish my fan was working though. All right. Yeah, I mean it probably looks sideways and stuff too. So because I'm in what's called uh, well, phone mode. Phone mode's a lot skinnier because our phones are skinnier. So unlike our screens, our television screens and stuff. So it's got to fit a certain way. All right. So we're the 3-minute mark. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I am your host. Your very small host today. I can't see nothing. But I've got me handy dandy light. Would you like to go on an adventure? We're going to creep through the chasms of the chasms of doom. For those of you joining, my power's out. So, all right, if you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Today we are talking about temptation. It is out of the daily reflections, the Hazelden daily reflections from March 17th is what I had picked. Now, it says in the big book that we do not avoid temptation, right? And it's, for alcoholics anyway, it's everywhere you go. I mean, everything I watch has drinking in it. I can't get on Facebook or watch TV or do anything without alcohol being involved. It's just because it's so widely accepted. You know, um, Now that doesn't mean we should go headlong into temptation and test ourselves either. I don't think that's very smart. I'm gonna test my sobriety. You know, my higher power has never tested my sobriety. I don't think he has time for foolishness like that. Am I going to test my sobriety or go help another person? What do you think the right answer on that is? No. And that's your decision. That isn't anybody else's decision, right? So March 17th, lead us not in temptation, we pray, for we know the certainty that temptation lurks around the corner. It does, alcohol is, it's almost a mortal enemy for us, but a mortal enemy that we got to kind of learn to love in a way. Not love, but not hate. You cannot, I've been seeing these sayings where it says, don't hate the addict, hate the addiction, hate the drug. No, don't hate the drug, man. You can't hate anything. And that's kind of the point. Um, you're gonna hate on something that doesn't even have math to it. I mean, come on, you know. I get it. You're trying to put your anger towards something. Why don't you put that anger towards, you know, building something or doing something with your time? Um, even you see it all the time in the TV shows that you watch where you take your anger and you put it towards something more constructive. You know, um, but alcohol is cunning, baffling, powerful, and I'm going to add another one: patient. It's extremely patient. Alcohol doesn't understand time. It's an inanimate object, man. Doesn't know time. Okay. See, the thing is, it doesn't mind waiting because it's got millions of other lives that it's already tempting. So you're just another one being added to the fold. You know, um, if you're going to give alcohol or drugs actual souls in life and talk about it that way, then let's talk about it the right way. Temptation is cunning, baffling, powerful, and patient. Oh, wow, it's in there. I guarantee you, I did not read this verse. It's just you learn things as you're in the program. I've been reading Hazelden literature for as long as I've been reading AA literature. Should have been AA approved literature a long time. They do, if you're going to give your money anywhere to recovery, give it to the Betty Ford Clinic, man. Give it to the Betty Ford Clinic. They do more for alcoholism than any other company out there. Hazelden, Betty Ford. Okay, was Betty Ford. If you don't know who Betty Ford was, she was the wife of the President Ford, man. Um, she had a lot of sway and she did a lot of good for AA. It's not mentioned. It's not really mentioned anywhere. But without the Betty Ford Clinic, we wouldn't have Hazelden, man. And Hazelden is the #1 treatment center in the country, in my opinion. In my opinion. So we know it'll catch us with our guard down. Yeah. So where are we at? Well, I'm without temptation again. I'm without defense against the first drink. And what do I get? I get a daily reprieve. Take it, man. Grace. Take that grace. God gives me grace every single morning. Every day that I wake up, God gives me some grace. And he's like, here's your options. Here's your options today, Dion. And my options are alcohol or God. Well, I don't even think of alcohol. I just go to God. Hey, hey, Monroe, welcome. Um, this is a daily reflection for people in recovery from addiction of alcohol and drugs. Of course, a lot of things that we talk about, could be assumed for daily living for anybody. So we're just here helping people out. That's what this is. And you're more than welcome to be here, whether you're an alcoholic addict or not. You don't even need to be one. It's not required here. But yeah, our main focus is on alcoholism. So, but either way, you are more than welcome with this, and yours is a little different about it. This is a pretty open group. So good to have you. Good to have you. Um, Temptation could come in the siren song of a four-colored advertisement. You know what a siren song is? Like, did you ever watch Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And There are those ladies singing. Yeah, that's a siren song. It's temptation of lust, right? And um, they can make it look pretty, man, and tempting. You know, I was more tempted when I was doing well than when I was doing bad. So when alcoholics have to get through something arduous without drinking, oh, we'll do it because everybody's watching. But the moment we get a raise, the moment we get a promotion, nobody's watching, we go out. We go out. We cannot handle that success. It's like, oh, we have a success coming up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drink a day or so prior to that so that when it gets here, I fuck it all up. This is your brain. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fuck it all up. And then we're going to have a really good reason to drink. Doesn't that sound great? Yeah, I know, I know. It's going to affect the family. We're not going to make rent and stuff, but I'll be able to drink, you know, and I'll have a good excuse for it. And that's what's going on. The fragment of a help remembered song, or more obviously in the direct urgings of another person. Yeah, music sways my ass, man. It does. I'm kind of careful on what I listen to sometimes. Yeah. Um, some of my old drinking songs, like one, you know, uh, well, any George Thorogood song, right? George Thorogood was my mantra when I was drinking. I drank alone, man, all by myself. When I drink alone, I prefer to be by myself. Yeah. Me and my good buddy Weiser, it's all I ever need. It's what my life was a George Thorogood song. And if you don't know who George Thorogood is, he's a kind of he's a rock country singer. So just think of it like country music, you know. Um, I love songs that tell stories and stuff. I love that. I love storytelling. So we must remain forever vigilant. Vigilant means all the time, you know. Now, in the beginning, vigilance is kind of hard because you got to remember, you got to remember, you got to remember. But what happens after a little while is once it becomes a habit, once the steps become a habit, once the principles become a habit for you, and how do you create a habit? Well, you do it over and over and over and over again, like we did our lying, our manipulating, and our drinking and our drugging. That became a habit because we did it over and over and over again. So we became very good at it, or very bad, depending on how you want to look at it, right? So we need to remain vigilant. For me, I need a meeting every day. It's you know time at like 8, 9 years I stopped meetings. Um, I'll go out, live my best, and I walked away from the program. I walked away from what was saving my ass. Hey, and I'm not going to make that mistake again. I'm never, to think that I don't need AA, to think I don't need a higher power, to think I don't need my friends is kind of silly in my mind now. I'm not stupid. I don't do stupid. So I'd rather go with silly, right? Remembering that the first drink gets us drunk, that the first obsessive bite will likely trigger an overeating orgy, that our first roll of the dice will destroy our lives. Am I aware of my number one priority? All right. So what's your number one priority? Well, my number one priority is my recovery. Not just staying sober, but my recovery. Right. Sobriety is a great start. But without recovery and the necessary change, what I'm going to be is I'm just going to be a sober horse thief. So if you have a drunk horse thief, if you have an alcoholic horse thief, a drunk horse thief, and you sober them up, what you have is a sober horse thief. That is alcoholism. Alcohol, was not the problem. It was the solution. Okay. A bad solution, which became a dissolution. And this dissolution started to dissolve your life. It will take everything everything worthwhile. It will leave the crap. See, it wants that worthwhile stuff. That's what feeds it. That's how I think of it. That's what feeds it. My pain, my suffering feeds that spirit. What is alcohol? Well, alcohol is a spirit. We call them spirits for a very good reason. Okay. And you think of it however you want to. But either way, there was a grasp on your fucking heart, man. I had a fucking hold on it. Just had, it reached in there and grabbed it. I was trying to think of something that would mean something. But yeah, it had a hold on me, man. I didn't have choices in my life when I was drinking. I didn't have any choices. They were all taken from me by alcohol. And the worst part is I let it happen. I let it happen. I sat there and watched the whole fucking thing happen. And that's the hard part about it. There's nothing worse than a head full of AA and a belly full of booze. It will make you do things, you know, where there are things in the book, those things start to become challenges and you will go after them. Your brain will. Like they were spared the last 10, 15 years of literal hell. Well, I could have been spared that if I would have stayed in the program. But no, my brain decided that it wanted to go out and adventure and it went through it. And they were right. It's not a requirement. It's not. That's why I beg. That's why I come on here a lot. That's why I continue to talk because there's a lot of misnomers out there in AA. Like you got to get sober for yourself. I mean, come on. And nobody's arguing with me on that. Okay. We do recovery for ourselves, but it's not going to happen until you learn how to love yourself. So if you can't love yourself yet, that's okay. That doesn't make you a bad person. Okay. It just means you're learning. That's what that means. And I had to take it that way because otherwise I just felt like a stupid fuck. And nothing makes me madder than feeling stupid. It still pisses me the fuck off. But I'm aware of it now. I'm aware of it. There's been times when I've gotten mad around people. They're like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm not getting what I want. Just ignore me right now. Okay. Just ignore me. Dion's not getting what he wants. This is not anything new. Okay. Just call it what it is, man. It's all right. And then, when we're done, we can laugh at it a little bit. So what I went through it, is it a little embarrassing? Kinda. But at the same time, I'd rather set a good example. Because that's actually setting a good example. It really is. Okay, God, lead me out of temptation. Woo, woo. God, lead us from temptation. Oh, God tempted my sobriety. God, lead us from temptation. Pick one. Pick one. Okay. God did not test your sobriety. You did that all of yourself. It is not God tempting you. Okay. The thing is, if there's a higher power, there's got to be a lower power. So I don't know why we just don't talk about it. Probably because it starts to feel too religion-y. Okay. But even karma comes in good and bad, doesn't it? Doesn't everything come in good consequences, good or bad? Isn't everything good or bad? So why is it that we deny? Because I'm going to tell you something. You deny, that's being closed-minded, and you will suffer the consequences of that thought process. That's It's how it goes. Who's chewing plastic? I can hear you. For those that don't know, I have a lot of cats and they do stuff. Yeah. My power is out. That's why it looks like this. I'm having fun though. I've got my little lantern. You missed the first part. If you weren't here for the beginning, that was kind of funny actually. I do a lot of voices. So not necessarily voices, accents and stuff. So hi Ingrid, it's me. Oh, it's I okay, never mind. I don't know what the lag time here is on here. So all right. God lead me out of temptation, whether is a jolly alcoholic abandon of my peers at a special occasion celebration, the pressure for my friends to get in the spirit of a party. You know what? Peer pressure doesn't go away. I don't care how old you are. Peer pressure. Oh, it's you eating plastic. Okay, I get it. Uh, it's funny because they'll say, like I'll listen to these stories and stuff, and they'll talk about, yeah, even the kid eating paste. I'm like, I'm the kid that fucking ate paste. Leave me alone, man. Fuck. All right. Are you I can't even get the right words in my head. All right. My friends, again, the spirit of the party, the familiar aura of an apartment where joints are passed around, the sound of rattling dice, the smell of a bakery. May know the limits of my resistance and stay well within them. May my surrender to the will of God give a whole new meaning to the old phrase, get in the spirit. Today I'll remember get in the spirit. Meaning get your ass in the sunlight of the spirit. It's all we can call it sunlight of the spirit. We call them spirit. Do you hear spirits? Oh, look it up. Look it up. You know what? We have the AA Big Book here. Let's look up spirits. Let's see what it has to say on it, right? Well, this is where we go for direction, is it not? I missed a page here. And it's not in here. Feels like I'm missing a page because it goes snubbed to St. Helena. Oh, all right. So, do we avoid temptation? Well, you know, I can only speak for alcoholics. For alcoholics, no, no. See, I will go anywhere and do anything as long as I have business to be there. Oh, I heard a beep. Power's back on. No, it's not because the lights would have. Oh, yeah, it is. And Dion said, let there be light. And there was light. I had to do it. I had to do it. That's what we call playing God. All right. No, if you have business to be somewhere, man, go, and go enthusiastically, man. Make things the best that you can, right? Um, so I haven't had nightmares in weeks. I haven't had my PTSD nightmares in freaking weeks, man. And I don't want to jinx it, but I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. Um, ever since I decided to go to, and it fits with this, and that's why I'm bringing it up. Ever since I decided to go to my niece's birthday party and just give people a hard time, it just disappeared, and it mostly had to do with one person. I don't want to bring up the actual person because but I am related to them, and I gave them a very hard time, and it was just fun. It's one of my brothers. I have 8 brothers and sisters, so you can figure it out if you want to. Good luck. Sorry, everything's booting back up here. So, wow, way too much light. Way too much light. Okay. Um, but ever since then, it's been a little bit better, a little bit better. And it's been nice. Been nice. I've been getting up a little bit earlier. When I get up in the mornings, I don't feel like I'm fighting. I don't wake up sweating and hating the fucking world. So glad. Thank you, God. This is progress, and you know we got to chalk these up. You know, and you know you've probably done a lot of work to get where you're at. Probably done a lot of work to get where you're at. So keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. I think I'm gonna go to a noon meeting. Yeah, I'm gonna go to a noon meeting, which was 1 minute ago. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. I really do. Peace out. And